Greetings everyone and welcome back to another cheapo phone review. In today's one I want to take a look at another brand that I haven't featured on the channel, and that's ASPERA. I know it's not called ASPERA, it's ASPERA, but ever since I've seen this brand, which I've mostly seen this brand pop up in Australian post offices. That's the main place I see these things. And the first thing I thought was, it's ASPERA. But no, it's not, it's ASPERA. Basically, it's an Australian-owned phone company, and they provide phones for people on a budget, which all sounds good and dandy, but how good are these devices? Pretty lackluster. I have tested other ASPERA devices. I think I featured one in a job lot one time, but it was horrible. And I've also got the ASPERA flip phones, which are also horrible. And the phone that I'm going to show you today is also horrible. So I think I've pretty much set the scene up for everybody here. And considering the name of this phone, which was the most ironic part of this thing, is that they called the device I'm looking at today the Nitro, when it's as slow as all hell. Oh boy, I can't wait to show you this one. So we're here to investigate what exactly this thing can do, which is not too much. I'll put my mindset into this as I've just purchased this for the asking price, and I'm gonna try and use it as best as I can. So get yourselves comfy, sit back, relax, and listen to me waffle on for about 45 minutes about a device that no one's ever gonna buy. But if you feel that I'm waffling on too much, you can use the timestamps in the description as well as a pinned comment so you can hop, skippity, jump to wherever you'd like to be. Alright, that's my lengthy intro. What we're taking a look at today is this. The ASPERA Nitro, retailing for $129 Australian, which I'll display SMOOREZ jank currency conversion chart on screen to give you a rough idea of how much this thing would cost in different countries. 130 Australians, like, I don't know, $90 US or something like that. You can purchase a lot better budget phones for about the same amount of money than this thing. But if you're in a post office and you see this, you might go, oh, that's pretty good. And the design of it looks kind of like a Huawei, sort of. Not really, the color more so than anything. I don't know where the wallpaper's pinched from, but I have dumped the system files, so hopefully the wallpapers are in there. I don't think you'll find too much in the system files, but feel free to go through it anyways. The ASPERA Nitro offers great value for money with a 5.7-inch display. We are excited to release the ASPERA Nitro. The Nitro is a 5.7-inch 4G smartphone displaying on an 18:9 aspect ratio screen. It has dual SIM 4G capability, runs on a 1.5 GHz quad-core processor, and contains 1 GB of RAM on an installation of Android 11 Go Edition to ensure you have a smooth experience with your device. Can you see where we're going with this? ASPERA Nitro, 1 GB of RAM, Android 11 Go Edition, smooth experience. Oh no. The Nitro also comes with 32 GB of storage with the ability to expand the storage with a microSD card for further capacity. Android 11 Go Edition is one of the latest releases of Android. Android 11 Go Edition isn't quite the latest, but for a device that's like 2 years old, it's fine. The ASPERA Nitro sports a lithium-ion 2400 mAh battery to power you through the day. Nitro aims to offer a great experience for an affordable price. Here's the great thing though, they made a second one called the ASPERA Nitro 2. That looks significantly better, and it also has 3 gigs of RAM, which would be a lot better than this thing. And you're probably wondering, where did you get this SMOOREZ? Of course I got it from Cashies. Wouldn't have got it anywhere else, except e-waste, but they're pretty dry at the moment. So I've got some reviews on Big W's website about this device that says, I think it's a crap phone, don't buy it, whatever you do. I got one as a birthday gift and wish that I got an iPhone instead, as they are better than this phone. You're asking a bit too much there. I mean, an iPhone's like $700, $800 or something, and you got this thing instead. Be grateful. We got a 4-star review there that does praise it a little bit, and then this one that says piece of rubbish. It's an utter and complete pile of crap. Frequently non-responsive, could get the age pension if it weren't any slower. Sound disappeared a month after purchase. Regret buying it. Pretty sure you have 30 days warranty to take these back. But anywho, I'll just quickly go over the full specifications for this device before we get into this thing. So I'll just display it on screen. So we've got the networks, we've got 4G, 3G, and 2G. Not a lot of 4G bands, but hopefully I should be able to make a call with this on Telstra. We've got an MT8765WA processor, which I don't think I've tested in a device before. I have a feeling this is pretty much an MT6737 or something similar, but we'll see later on during the benchmarks. And that is a quad-core 1.5 GHz processor, dual 4G SIM cards and 1 SD card. RAM is 1 GB, storage is 32 GB, Android 11 Go Edition. Down to design and display, we have a 5.7-inch TN display. That TN display is 854 by 480, and in your head I bet you're picturing it, a TN display at 480p. I'm pretty sure I've seen Welcomes that have better displays than this. Connectivity, 4G and 3G Wi-Fi, USB tethering, Bluetooth 5.0, micro USB port, 2400 mAh battery. Construction, micro USB port for charging and data transfer, which is strange for construction, but okay. 3.5mm headphone jack. The back cover can be removed and the battery can be replaced, which is good for this. The dimensions are there, as well as the weight being 185 grams, which is a bit hefty for a budget device, but it is what it is. The cameras, we have a 5 megapixel rear camera plus a 0.8 0.8 megapixel camera. It's actually a 0.08 megapixel camera. It also does nothing. I'll talk about that soon. 2 megapixel front camera. It says autofocus and self timer. They don't exist on this device. Video recording, scene modes, multimedia, FM radio in the box, all that good stuff there. All right, I think you've got a good understanding of this device. So let's finally take a look at the ASPERA NITRO. I don't know how they ripped the box here. Maybe they were just really excited to get into it. Just, there it is. You've seen it in the thumbnail. There's the Nitro branding there. Look at that. Looking lovely. Nitro and then lines, because lines mean faster. I don't know. ASPERA Australian owned. More specs on the side. Look at the box as well. The box is so generic looking. Even the specs there as well. Just looks so janky. On the bottom we have the model number. Gradient blue is the color. The 4G bands as well. Both IMEIs are there. I'd say feel free to tell me where these have been pinched from, but they should correspond with this device. There's some legitimacy in this brand. It's just that they have really cheapo devices that don't do a whole lot. Here is the device itself, which, sorry about all the dust and stuff. I tried to make it look factory again, and it doesn't look factory. But we get an included case with it, which is good. We get a single instruction page. Cell Aid Pty Limited warrants the original retail purchase of this ASPERA wireless device. So this single piece of toilet paper is your warranty card. Huh. We get an actual user manual. Look at that. Ooh. It'll tell you everything, so, you know, if you were new to devices, this would be helpful. Is it helpful, though? Let me have a look. It actually does explain quite a lot of features on this, instead of usual ones that just say, oh yeah, just power on phone, it's all good. That actually does explain things. Good to see. We've got some earphones, which I might test during the FM radio segment. We get a micro USB cable, which is of kind of high quality, and then we also get a charger, which is 5V at 1 amps. I'm not going to stomp on this because it actually does have a bit of weight to it, and it would be probably safe to use. I'd say it would be safe to use. It's made by Shenzhen Beijunda Electronic Co. Limited. Cool. And here's the device. I can take this off now because it just looks horrible. Ugh. So we've got our 5.7 inch display, that's 480p. At the top we've got our 2 megapixel camera, earpiece, and an LED flash for selfies, which is kind of cool. There also should be some sensors in there somewhere. I just can't quite see them at this point in time. We've got some bezels, of course, but you can't expect much from a budget device like this. Around the sides, we have a power button as well as a volume rocker. The bottom, we've got a microphone and micro USB port. Other side is just all plain. And then at the top, we have a headphone jack. And then at the back, we've got our dual camera setup there. Now, when I first stumbled across this device at Cashies, I looked at those cameras and I went, there is no way that that secondary camera is actually a functional one. And from my testing so far, it doesn't appear to be. LED flash there, speaker down the bottom, ASPERA branding, and the Cashies sticker, which says $69, comes with everything. I paid $50 for it, which I think was a pretty good deal considering that these did retail for $130. Honestly, I've been meaning to cover an ASPERA phone on the channel, but I just never had that right opportunity to look at one until I found this, and I've just went, Nitro, 1 gig of RAM. Yes. Now taking the back off, we can see our fingerprint sensor just there. So we'll definitely be testing that. We have a micro SIM slot and a nano SIM card slot, as well as a micro SD card slot, and the battery is this fella here, 2400 milliamp hours, and I have done a battery test on this, and I can tell you it's not the best, but it will do for a budget device, and that's the inside there. ASPERA, Nitro, Gradient Blue, IMEIs there, and that's pretty much all that's going on with this. There is some model numbers at the top there, which might tell us if this is a rebrand of something. AH5712, maybe. Could be a rebrand of something. I've got my Telstra SIM card in this. I'm also going to put my Optus SIM card in as well, just to see if it does have dual 4G with both of them running at VLTE. Now, since you know the specs of this thing, it's not going to offer too much, but I just want to showcase what it can do. Power it on. We get the ASPERA branding. We also get to see the LCD, which is terrible. It's pretty bad. But, you know, you start to lose the viewing angle straight away. And you can also see the backlight and just, yep. But anyways, watch it start up. Fun. No sound or anything. They could have made a sound, you know, maybe a kangaroo hopping around or something like that. Regarding the display, the glass is extremely thick on this. Like, I can't really show you all, but you can see that there is a gap between the LCD and the glass. It's really weird. It's hard to explain, but I hope you sort of understand what I'm trying to say here. Let's set it up. May as well connect it to Wi-Fi. We should have 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Yes, we do. ASPERA NITRO. Look, I've got to be fair to it. It's 1 gig of RAM, okay? And Android 11 Go edition. But holy moly, both SIM cards have popped up with 4G VLT. That's awesome. It's kind of like the Conker SP9 that I reviewed a couple of months back. Kind of the same thing as this, but I think they had better specs than this thing. I honestly don't remember. Wait for it. Come on, Speedy, you could do it. Alright, so if I've just bought this from the post office and I'm setting this up, straight away I'm going to be like, man, this is slow. I can't set my expectations too high, but just know that your local post office probably has better phones for about 50 bucks more. What is it doing? Oh, there we go. We'll just skip and we'll just leave that. So let's do a pattern, because patterns are fun. Wee. Alright, let's try fingerprint. Come on, buddy. There we go. We got face unlock on this thing? Probably not. Look at the animation. Where's that turtle? Or a tortoise? I booted it up. Wow, you can barely see the display. Let's just go in for a zoom of the tortoise. Or turtle. It's one of the two. You can see the quality. It's, yeah, it's not sharp at all. You can count the pixels and everything just looks extremely washed out. Once again, it's a budget device. Can't say anything, you know, too bad about it. But if I put the brightness all the way up, you can just get a better idea there that that's what the display looks like. I mean, just, ugh. Swipe up. We've got pretty much stock Android here. There's no bloatware on this except for Facebook Lite. I'm pretty sure you can uninstall this. No, you can't. Maybe it's bundled with Android 11 Go then. So we honestly won't have too much to test in this. Just sort of the usual stuff we'll go through, but just stick with me here. So swiping down, we have all the shortcuts there, which the torch, I can praise on this. That's not bad. For a cheapo phone, not bad at all. I've taken night shots already, and yeah, I'm actually fairly impressed with the brightness on this thing. I thought it might have been useless, but no, it's actually quite good. One redeeming factor. We have a good torch on the back. That's it so far. Let's try the fingerprint unlock. There we go. There we go. It does work. Yeah, okay, it works. It's a bit slow. Once again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. The specs in this thing aren't impressive, so I'm going to expect it to be a little bit chuggy. So touch and hold it on the main screen. We have home settings, which doesn't have too much there. Then we have wallpapers. Let's see what we've got for wallpapers. Oh, so we have a turtle. Then we have a bird flying above a sea in pixelation land. Oh. Then we have, oh, there's a wren. I knew that because ASPERA makes another phone called the ASPERA wren. It's based on a burb. There's the burb there. I got it right. Oh, I know that location. See, Australian owned. We put the Opera House on there. Yay. That's all the wallpapers though. Maybe we'll do the Opera House, you know, make it more Australian-like. All right, let's take a look at that now. Yep, 480p. Looking good. Yeah, looks good. Cool. All right. Also, you can see the chin on this, as well as the forehead. Is that what you call it? Bezel-wise, yeah. Honestly, it looks like a device from 2016. Definitely not 2022 or 2023, whenever this thing was released. That's for sure. Oh, the little elephant on the bike there. Whee! So, yeah, look, everything's looking fairly standard at this point in time. So let's jump straight into settings and have a look through this. So network and internet, we pretty much know what's going on here. Both SIM cards, as I said, working at 4G with VLTE. So I'll give this a call. I'll try both SIM cards. So I'll do Telstra first. What do you think the default ringtone is? Is it Flutie Phone? It's Flutie Phone. All right, let me test the quality. It sounds okay. It's not the best, but it'll do. Okay, Telstra's half reasonable. Let me try Optus. Oh, this should have a different ringtone because it's a second SIM card. There we go. It's Flutie Phone as well. I missed it because it's so slow. Oh my god. Alright, we'll have to do it again now. Wait, Optus sounds better. Yeah, Optus sounds better. Strange. Well, I'll splice in the call quality from the ASPERA Nitro. You can have a listen to it and see what you think.
Testing the call quality on the ASPERA Nitro. This is what it sounds like, and this is with Optus, and it actually sounds a lot better on Optus than Telstra for some reason. Both use VoLTE, but Optus just sounds better, so maybe this phone's more compatible with Optus, like bands-wise, I'm not too sure, but yeah, no, it honestly sounds fairly good for what it is. So let me switch to the microphone and you can listen to that. And testing the microphone quality on the ASPERA Nitro, it sounds a little something like this. And once again, it sounds pretty good for what it is with Optus. With Telstra, it sounds a little bit muffled, but with Optus, it sounds like this, which, yeah, fairly good for what it is, for a budget phone anyways. So that's call quality, so let's move on.
You just heard the call quality from the ASPERA Nitro. It doesn't sound too bad. It's okay. One thing I have noticed with calling this is that it's pretty slow when it comes to phone calls. And by that, I mean, when you're calling this, it's ringing, but nothing's popping up until the very last minute, and then you try to answer it, and then it goes, no, sorry, can't do that. Gotta call them back. That's a bit iffy there, but moving on, connected devices is just Bluetooth, apps and notifications. We'll go through this real quickly because I'm actually interested to see if there's any hidden things on this, which would be really strange if they have hidden stuff on this, but we'll see. Let me just quickly scroll through this and see if I can find anything that might be of concern. I don't think there will be, to be fairly honest, but, you know, I'm interested to see if there is. There's the cutout stuff, which I've seen other devices before. Filled FM radio, focal fingerprint test. Focal fingerprint MMI test. Okay. A gestural navigation bar. Oh, does this have gestures? I wonder. Oh no, because it's a Go edition, it shouldn't have them. Maps Go, location, EM2, music FX, ocean, orchid. Okay. Print spooler, quick step, rounded rectangle, setting storage, shell, sim processor, sounds, space, yep. Tags, tool cutout, telephony assist, vessel, waterfall cutout, that's it. There's nothing. I'll try and QuickShortcutMaker though, just in case. There might be something. Battery. You just seen it, just drop a percent there. Okay, let's talk about the battery. So I left this on standby for 63 hours with Wi-Fi and cell, and it dropped from 100% down to 50%, which doesn't sound that bad for this, but that's just on standby. When you start to use this device, you'll see the battery draining quite quickly, but considering it's a 2400 milliamp hour battery, you're not going to get too much out of this. During my testing of this, like doing the camera tests and stuff, I've had to charge this up 3 times, I think. I'll put the battery percentage on so you can watch the percent up there. Keep an eye on that. If they put a 3000 milliamp hour battery in this, it wouldn't have been too bad, but 2400 is just a bit too low. It also says that it should last till 12:45 AM, which is 4 hours away. As I said, standby's fine, but when you start to use this, you'll notice a drain. Display settings, we don't have too much in here. That's all good. Sounds, oh, best loudness. Oh, Senate Houndsman here. Yep, best loudness right there. Storage is 32 gigabytes. All good there. Privacy, location, security. Oh, do we have face unlock? No, we don't. Not that it would have been helpful anyways. I'll put my Gmail onto this. This may take a while. What is it doing? Oh, is it using Wi-Fi? It's not using Wi-Fi, is it? Oh my god. You stupid thing. I am having some issues right now. The Wi-Fi keeps dropping out. I connected earlier to Wi-Fi. It was on, and then it disconnected. Now I've switched it back on, and hopefully it doesn't disconnect again. Also, the vibration motor sounds like angry bees. Alright, I'm signed in almost. I'm getting there. There we go. I'm wondering how gaming's going to do on this. To be fair, I think mostly it's going to be old people buying these devices because they'll be like, oh look, that's $129, that's cheap, I like that one. And they won't be doing gaming on it, obviously. They might download some like casino games or something, I don't know. We'll try gaming later on and see how it goes. Accessibility, we have switch access, talkback, everything's here, so if you do need accessibility options on this, it will work. Granted, it's a bit slow, but it'll be fine. Digital wellbeing, Google, Duraspeed, system. Oh, gestures, is it just jump to camera? Yeah, just the usual stuff, so there's no navigation bar. I could probably turn on navigation gestures through ADB, but I probably won't do that because of how slow this is. Let's check for a system update. I'd fall off my chair if there's an update for this. I believe both devices that I've had from ASPERA did not get any updates whatsoever, but we'll see. Also, that said 2023. Maybe this phone's newer and not 2 years old. Maybe it actually came out last year, 2023. I'm not sure. There'll be a date code somewhere. Nope. We're up to date. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. Finally, in About Phone, we have the IMEIs listed. Android 11. We can grab the Easter egg. I've never seen it just... Okay. So, whoop, whoop, whoop. Did I do it? There's a little cato there. So I did do it. Why did it yell at me for? So yeah, 2023 for the security update. So yeah, maybe it did come out in 2023. Otherwise, baseband version, kernel version, build number, all good there. And we've got a unique serial number, so that's good. So that's all of settings. And what I can say so far is it's pretty slow. So far, it's just working. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. So let's go through the apps. Assistant we don't need to go into. Calculator, is it rad? Please be rad. I like rad calculators. No, it's a different one. Okay. Oh, but we can choose a theme. I won't do that. We'll go into camera. So here's the camera. And what did it say on the website? Autofocus, self-timer. So we don't have manual focus. Let's get Rubik's Cube technology. There doesn't look like any autofocus. Also, the angles as well. Wow. I couldn't see anything when I was doing the camera test outside, by the way, so hopefully the camera test looks good. And if you go up the top here, the modes you have is just normal. That's it. And just settings, shows, settings. Oh, the self-timer is there. Okay, never mind. Self-timer is there, but autofocus does not exist on this. And the front camera looks a little something like that. I can tell you now the front camera does lag, but you'll see that soon. But if I go to video and I turn on the torch, that's pretty bright. Look at this. It's brighter than most welcome devices that have had a shitty LED on the front. So that's not too bad there. So another redeeming factor. The LEDs are definitely bright on this. We can do a 720p on the front camera. I'll switch off the LED so I'm not blinding you all, sorry. And you can do 1920 by 1080 on the rear camera. Here's a weird thing with the camera. What sound do you think this device makes when I press the record button for video? Have a think. If you guessed taking a photo, you'd be correct. I don't know. Just agree with it, I guess. There's no additional options for our secondary camera. So what exactly does it do? I have a feeling it does nothing. I think they've just literally put it there because they're like, we've got the space. Let's put a dud one there. So it looks cool. So they had 2 cameras, yeah. Let me splice in the photos and videos that I took with this thing, and we'll talk about the quality of them and continue on with this review. Here's what the ASPERA NITRO looks like during the day. Is it stabilized? Kind of, no, sort of. It looks pretty average so far. For a device that's 130 Australian dollars, it's, you know, average detail and stuff. Ooh, look. Brick wall, just quickly. Here you go. The droopy lemons. Look, they're just dangling there now. They're going to fall off any moment. That's what they look like. And there's any, looks something like that. Just kind of chilling. Don't worry about the birds screaming. There's the sky, which looks, you know, like a sky. Yeah. Then the faraway aircon looks like that, with a 4x digital zoom. It looks like something out of a PS1 game, to be fair. From what I can see of it anyways. It's like all jagged and stuff. Nothing special with this, and the secondary camera, the 0.08 megapixel thing, doesn't do absolutely anything, of course. But we'll investigate that during the teardown. Look at this loaf. Look at it. Come on, you can turn over. Off we go. Oh, so close. Whoa. Look at that belly. Look at that belly. Because people keep giving you treats. You've become a definitive loaf. Bye. No, there's nothing in there. Actually, there's one thing in there. You might be able to get it. Yeah, the LED flash on the ASPERA NITRO is actually quite bright for what it is. Just too bad there's no autofocus or manual focus. It's just, you know, as it is. But yeah, it's quite reasonable for a budget phone. As you can see, look, you can see the lemon tree. Ooh, all the water droplets and stuff. Can you see all that detail? Look at nice. Wow. Cool. Well, it looks okay from my point of view, kind of, sort of. Not that the viewing angles on this display are any good, but, you know, you get the point of it, though. Alright, let's move on, I guess. Don't mind my red chucks outside. Does this look any good? I don't think it does. Ooh, it looks like it's more than, like, 45 FPS. Is it stabilized? You know what? It kind of is. It kind of actually is. Let me go into the sun so you just see a little bit. Is that better? I can't see the display at all. Wow. I can actually see my reflection on the screen more than I can see what's on the display. So that's helpful. Otherwise, that's what that looks like. Do I need to continue on? Good. Alright, cool. 720p though. Yep. Wait till you see it nighttime. Why did it make a camera clicking sound when I pressed record for the video? Why is it in black and white for? Is it in black and white or is it just me? Is there any colour? Yes, there is colour. Wow, the LED flash makes everything look good. I mean, the front LED is bright, not gonna lie. Like, that's pretty good, but it's very choppy, as to be expected. And wow, ghost. Oh, I'm a spooky ghost. Okay, you just seen the photos and videos that I took with the ASPERA NITRO. You know, Nitro because speedy. The quality of the photos is about as good as you'd expect. The front camera is pretty lacking. The rear camera is okay. It will do. It's nothing too spectacular, but it will do. Also, if you noticed in the camera, we have HDR at the top. It's loading. Hang on, just give it a second to get in there. There it is. Yeah, we've got HDR at the top. HDR doesn't work on this. Did several different shots, and here you go. Left is standard, right is HDR. I don't see a difference at all. Unless I'm missing something? No, I can't really tell. They're the same picture, to be fairly honest. There's definitely no autofocus. It is just fixed. And finally, when it comes to videos on this, it's nothing too impressive. I mean, it can do 1080p, that's good. But look, for a cheapo device, the cameras will do. So let's go into Chrome, and we'll test browsing on this. Now, once again, I'll try and be as fair as I can to this device, knowing the specs. I've just opened Chrome. Alright. I've just pressed Chrome. There we go. Okay. So real time. This is real time. Google. Alright. Real time Chrome test. We're on Google. So this is where you're going to start to see things struggle a little bit. Woolworths and Big W have these in stock. Well, that's cool. I don't think you'd want to buy it though, but yeah, if you just go onto Australia Post website, for example, did I click it? Oh, it's loading a picture. Okay, never mind. Click it again. Wait, it's loading? No. There we go. Once it opens up a page, it's fine. It's just a bit slow when it comes to loading pages. Look, browsing on this will be okay. Just if you're going onto Chrome and having a look at stuff. I would say when it comes to social media, you probably wouldn't get too far with this. I mean, of course with the specs. But just as it is, it'll do. It'll do. I can't say much more than that, apart from it'll do. Clock contacts, drive, duo, files, FM radio we can quickly test. Let's try the earphones that came with this. Let's see how good they sound. Well, they have a button on them. Button. They also look like knockoff AirPods. Just a little bit. What's on Australian radio on a Wednesday night? I hate today's music. Yeah, the earphones sound pretty bad. I'll try during the speaker test. I'm quite keen to see how the speaker quality on this is. So let's continue on. Gmail, Google Go, which probably would be better for web browsing, to be honest, instead of Chrome. You might want to consider that if you're dealing with 1 gig of RAM. Facebook Lite, Maps Go. I also did a GPS test while I was outside and it worked fine. It's just, once again, fairly slow when you're trying to navigate and stuff with this. So I wouldn't want to use this as a dedicated GPS because it does sort of chug along there. But it works fine otherwise. Messages, phone, Play Store, settings, SIM toolkit, sound recorder. Does it look like Android 4 still? It does. Have they ever changed the sound recorder on like Android 15 or is it still looking exactly the same? Let's do the YouTube test. This is where I'm going to start to see things really struggle. Hey, surprise me device. Oh, okay, well I got updated then. Now it doesn't want to open. I just want to jump onto YouTube. That's all I like to do. Okay. Oh, wait, it was loading. Can't lock it. Wait. We're getting there. Speedy. Speedy's getting there. Come on, Speedy. Yay, Speedy. I'm going to try it in 720p, but I don't expect too much. People tell me to enable stats for nerds, but when I do it, it just pops up and then goes away. So like, did you see that? What's it playing at? 360p. Let's try it in 720p. I won't bump it to 1080p, just 720p. Be fair to it. Granted, people will just watch YouTube on the default resolution anyway, so whatever works here is a bonus. Once again, the viewing angles are terrible here, but wait for it. I think it's kicked in. I can't tell. I mean, it looks... oh, no, it doesn't look nice. Hey guys, it's a loud speaker. Wow. That's a very shitty speaker. Oh, 720p. 60 FPS. Working there. Kind of. Sort of. Yeah? Hey, that's not bad. It's alright. There you go. Look at the froggo. You can see the pixels. Wow. Alright, so bump it down to 360p, and let's watch it now. Oh, can't even see the... Look at the viewing angles. They're horrible. There's Spider. And it should be super fast now. Yeah, see? Snake tongue. That was fast. 360p YouTube's going to be fine on this. If you push it further, it's going to lag. But with YouTube setting it to 360p as the best resolution for this, that's what most people are going to be watching videos on. But let's finally go into YouTube Music, where we can do BFG division. I want to test to see how loud our speaker is. How do I get rid of this? Okay, it's gone. It's not going to be a big speaker. It'll be just a speaker. That's it. You can't even see it. The viewing angles are just terrible. As I said, when I was outside trying to do the camera test, I couldn't see anything on the display. I'm just aimlessly just taking photos of things. Alright, so I've just bought this phone from the post office, and I'm putting my custom ringtone onto this, because I'm hard of hearing, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear this ringing if I'm over the other side of the house. So let's go. Wow. That's equivalent of someone just poking a tin can, just like... Let me try my song that I'll probably never release. People keep asking me to release it, but I'll probably never release it. Actually, you can find it if you Google it. Let's see what this sounds like. That is so tinny. Oh. Wow, that was tinny. That's not a big speaker. That's just that's a good explanation of it, isn't it? Let me try my earphones. The earphones on this sound about as good as you'd expect. There's like barely any bass, but they work. They're free earphones with the phone, so you know. Does the button work? Yeah, the button works. Nice. Yeah, they're nothing too special. We're also at 68% too. That was probably, what, half an hour? And it's dropped 13%? So at this point in time, I'm not too impressed with the way this runs, but it's tolerable. It hasn't completely crashed like the Gioni did, where it just completely just gave up. It's still working, but this is definitely not a $130 device. If it was anywhere between like $50 to $70 Australian, I'd say, yeah, okay, cool budget phone. Don't expect too much out of it. But for what they were asking for this, I couldn't really recommend that. I think what we need to do is just push this a little further and see if it can handle Geekbench, gaming, check the specs, QuickShortcutMaker, all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and install all that, and we'll be right back. My apps are installed: Geekbench, San Andreas, QuickShortcutMaker, device info hardware, and CPU system info. So let's open up Geekbench. So we're at 64% battery life, all right? Let's see how fast it's gonna drain. The CPU is an MT6739WW. What did it say on the website? MT8765WA, which I said at the start is likely gonna be an MT67 something or other, which is what it is. So that makes sense. I'll run the benchmark. We'll see how long this takes. 9:47 PM at 64% battery life. I'm just gonna put it down, and we'll just see what it comes back with. I'm not expecting too much from the numbers, but we'll see, we'll see. I'm back. It finished about 2 minutes ago. We're at 58% battery life, which isn't that bad, but we got 94 for single and 187 for the multi-core score. So I'll display some other scores to the side, which the Sugar A100, even though they had an MT6739 in it, that got 104 for single, which makes sense, but the multi was 313, whereas we've got 187 here. But it's actually on par with the Conquer SP6, which got 102 for single and 187 for the multi-core score. That had a Unisoc SC9832E in it. But also, the MT6580 got a multi-core score of 150. This is a bit strange. Usually when I see these numbers I go, oh yeah, I know what's going on here, but these numbers kind of don't make sense. We're a bit off. If I'm comparing it to like the Sugar A100 or something, I think we're going to have to dig a little bit deeper into finding out the go with this. It should all be fine, but let's continue on. All right, let's check out device info hardware and see what we've got. So it says 960 by 480. Okay, so what I said at the beginning was incorrect. So it's 960 by 480. I'll make sure I put a note to reflect on that. Android 11, 1 gig LP DDR3, an accelerometer. I don't even think we've got light sensors, to be honest. But yeah, MT6739WW. Quad core with the Power VR Rogue G8100. ASPERA Nitro, all that good stuff there. Screen 960 by 480 at 60 Hz, 160 pixels per inch. And we'll do screen test, which should be... Oh, it's 2 point. Oh, wow. Okay. Memory, 1 gig, 32 gig. Camera, let's see what it comes up as. So 5 megapixels is correct, 2 megapixels is correct, but nothing else. Power profile, 1000 milliamp hours, but we know it's 2400 milliamp hours. Sensors, yeah, accelerometer, light and proximity, but I don't think the light and proximity actually work. And also, during the Geekbench test, it started to get considerably warm up here, because I was working hard, but it wasn't too hot, I will say that. Checking CPU system info, what have we got in here? ASPERA NITRO, Android 11, no root access, of course, MT6739. That's what it says that we've got in this. Not the other thing. 32 gigs, 1 gig. Free is 256 though. Wow. Screen is incorrect, but we know what's going on with this. Battery, 2,946,000 milliamp hours. It's good enough. Thermal, 26 degrees, which is about correct. We actually do have a light sensor and a proximity sensor. That's good. Cameras, does it come up with a second one? Nope. Doesn't come with the second one. Let me jump into QuickShortcutMaker then, because I don't think we'll be here for too long. Any factory stuff? Yeah, we've got factory mode by SGRLPJJ. What's this? Ah. Okay. Can I change it to English by any chance? No. Is this the exit button? Uh-oh. Aha. I used Google Translate. Dial 112. I don't want to do that. Camera, actually. Let's just see if it comes up with... No, it's just open up the camera. That's helpful. Base info just says serial number, software version. All good there. T-key. What's a T-key? So that's what that is. Focal fingerprint MMI test. What a name. Please follow the instructions. Do not press your fingers in advance. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I guess that worked. All stock, looking good. So that's one thing that I can praise with this, is that there's no hidden stuff on here. I mean, apart from the factory mode, but that's usual. So let me try San Andreas then, real quickly. Now, I did say we've only got 256 megs of RAM free, which probably isn't helpful. I'm going to just bump everything up to the maximum, which is probably a bad idea, but that's okay. All right, let's see how it goes. Speaker doesn't sound too bad now. That's all right. I think I'm going to have to rip the shielding off this, because I don't know what processor is in this, to be fairly honest. I'm quite confused. Come on, MT67, whatever you are. Once again, the viewing angles are just awful. And also, yeah, that's how this runs. This is at 480p. Oops. Everything's up to the maximum, but still 480p gaming, and it's lagging with San Andreas. Oh, wheelie, wheelie. Wheelie good. Let me bump it down to the default settings then, which that's the default settings there. Let's give it a crack. Oh, up we go, CJ. Okay, that's fine now. Well, I made it, but I didn't do a spinny twist turn, and I'm now stuck in the wall. We know the processor is capable, as well as the GPU, being capable of playing games. It's just paired with the 1 gig of RAM. That's what's holding it back. But look, it's fine. On just the default settings. If I was really desperate and wanted to play San Andreas on a device, I would play it on this. But I am not that desperate. But I'm glad it works. I was expecting it to run like absolute horseshit, but no, that's fine. Oh my god. Holy moly. I didn't even realize it's a hand warmer now. Wow, we're at 54% battery life now. I think I started this review at 86, so that might give you an idea of battery life there as well. But I think that's everything on the ASPERA NITRO, which, why did they call it the ASPERA NITRO? It's so funny to me that they called it the Nitro. They could have called it like one of their other devices, the ASPERA Wren, based on a burb, because, you know, burbs fly and stuff. I don't know. But the turtle on the main wallpaper, they could have called this the ASPERA Turtle. That would have been a funny name. It would have been like, haha, look, there's an ASPERA Turtle. Or as I would have called it, the ASPERA Turtle. That sounds like more of a fun name. Actually, let me tell you the other ASPERA models. They all have some sort of jingo to them. Jingo? What's a jingo? Like the AS10 and the ASPERA Buzz, the ASPERA AS9, the AS8, AS5, AS7, Nitro, AS6, Gem, Jazz 2, Swift, Ren, Jazz, A50, A42. So they got some pretty cool names there. So why did they call this ASPERA Nitro when it's super slow specs? I would go on the line of saying that's kind of misleading there, because you're calling a device Nitro. So if someone sees it and they're not really illiterate, they think Nitro, they think fast, they think that's a fast device, and they buy it, and then they realize that's not fast. Am I correct in thinking that way? Maybe. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking with this. This wasn't totally unusable. It does its job for a cheap budget phone, but the display is terrible, the speaker's not that good, the performance is generally lacking on this, the front camera is so-so, the rear camera is acceptable, the build quality is nothing too spectacular, battery life is pretty bad. But if someone wanted this just for basic functionality, and I mean basic functionality, just calls, texts, and browsing the web, maybe listening to the radio or something like that, should be fine. But pushing it past that, you're going to have mixed results, especially trying gaming and stuff like that on there. While this isn't complete garbage, it's not exactly a winner for me. As I said earlier, if they price this at like 50, 60 bucks or something like that, this would have been fine because you've got dual 4G with VR LTE, which is great, and you've got a stock experience. So that stuff would sell, but I just don't think it's worth 130 bucks, especially with the specs. But I guess if you're just walking into your post office and you see ASPERA NITRO on the shelf and you go, oh yeah, that's something I'd like to buy, then you get what you pay for at the end of the day. It's not a welcome, so I have a bit more respect for this. Out of the 3 devices I've tested, which I'm pretty sure I've got a Jazz 2 and the flippy one, this is probably the best performer out of them. And that's saying something considering this only has 1 gig of RAM. If you want me to review those other ASPERA devices later down the track, I'm more than happy to. I don't know when, but if you want me to have a look at them, I can. But I just seen this at Cashies, laughed at the name on the box, and thought it'd be a fun thing to look at. And I'm glad I've looked at it. So I think with that lengthy conclusion, I think we can tear this down and have a look at the innards. I think for the $50 I paid for it is fair. So if someone's seen it at Cashies for 50 bucks, I'd say, yeah, that's all right. Because there's nothing dodgy on here or anything like that. It's just, why would you call it Nitro? Feel free to tell me in the comments if you have a better name for this and not Nitro. Maybe ASPERA Acceptable or ASPERA It Just Works, because it just works. There's nothing wrong with a phone that just works. But I can see people's frustrations with this if they did buy this. It does get pretty slow in some areas, but I have to give this a chance due to the price and the fact that it doesn't have anything dodgy on it. What I'm also wanting to check out is the secondary camera on the back here, because they're saying that as a feature and I have a feeling it doesn't do anything, but we'll check. Look, I gotta give these guys credit because, you know, they're Australian owned and stuff, but they're just really rebranding devices and going, yeah, calling it a day sort of thing. So that's the back right there, looking pretty plain. Nothing much to talk about there. That's a very small loudspeaker. That's nothing too fancy at all. Bottom PCB with the charging port, coin style vibration motor. Also, there's a big section just here. What is this for? Probably for another device that had a speaker there, most likely. We've got an internal metal frame, which is good to see. And the motherboard at the top here is what we want to take a look at. So let's grab this out of here. Yeah. You know. Okay. That was easy. That just came off like that. We do have some copper on the back of the heatsink, which I can take off the shielding. Yes, I don't have to destroy it. No cooling, no. It's just fairly plain. But we do have some front sensors, which is good. 2 megapixel camera there. Headphone jack. Flip it over. We've got the fingerprint sensor that's just dangling there. Tiny little flex cable though. That's cute. Micro SD card slot, nano SIM, micro SIM, and the 5 megapixel camera just at the back there. As well as this thing. Let's have a look at this thing. I'm going to be very upset with ASPERA if this is a dud. I will call them out for doing this. Okay, I'm not afraid of it. Even if there is a sensor in here, what does this sensor actually do? I've zoomed all the way in. It's a SEER 7385 GC6133 S2B. So it's likely a Galaxy Core sensor. But let's lift up the lens and see if we can see anything, because it doesn't look like there's anything in there. Don't let me down, ASPERA. I'm going to be very upset with you. Okay, moment of truth. Here we go. Is there a sensor? Oh, no way. Oh, those cheeky bastards. Oh my god. I knew it was a dud. How cheeky of them. You could just market this with one camera, ASPERA, okay? I get that. But the fact that you've said that this is a 0.08 megapixel sensor, which altogether wouldn't do anything apart from a light sensor, there's nothing there. It's bare PCB. That is it. I knew it was a dud when I seen it. There could have been a sensor on there because there's actually circuitry going on there. So this could actually be for a cheap light sensor, but they have decided not to put it. And I can't really directly blame ASPERA because they don't make the devices, they just import them. But still, they're marking this as a feature, and it's not a feature. It is literally just decoration, and that's sad. There you go. You've seen it here first, folks. So I wonder if any other ASPERA devices have the same thing. I actually can say with one of the flip devices that I have from them, it actually has a fake Android version on it. It says 8, but it's actually 6. So that'd be fun to show you all. I honestly thought that it would just be a cheapy little light sensor, but no, there you go. Because there's no portrait effects or anything on this, so I might have to stick that down with something. So where does this really sit then when it comes to like consumer law and stuff? Because it's not a 0.08 megapixel camera with the lens that keeps falling off. It's a nothing. It's a dud. If I have a look on their site, a lot of their other devices have secondary cameras, which I have a slight feeling that they might be lies. Maybe, I'm just assuming, but judging from this though, alright, well, shielding come off, like, oh, there we go, shielding just pops off, nice and easy. Why am I using a razor blade? Don't ask questions. Okay, so we have a MediaTek, I don't know, that's helpful. We have a Nanya module just there, which says 256 meg on it, but then it says 32 there as well. That doesn't make sense, I'm Googling this. Okay, so that chip makes sense, so that's not a problem. But this MediaTek chip, I can't quite see. Have they glued it down? What the hell? There's actually a bit of glue underneath the shielding here. Things are looking sus. X-Acto knife time. There you go, see, look. Glue. I just need to lift it up so I can see what is in here, which I can't see because they've glued it, which is helpful. I am very, very sus with this. There's no model number on the MediaTek. This doesn't make sense. The whole thing is glued down into place. I mean, fair, I scratched it up trying to get to the shielding, but the fact that they've glued it down, it just doesn't make sense. I'm going to Google the code on it, just to see. Okay, I've googled both the codes on there and I can't find anything about this. The benchmark scores don't make sense. If it was an MT6739, something is definitely sus here with the whole glue and all that sort of stuff. But accordingly, it's an MT6739. That's what it says. I guess I'm going to agree with that. If you folks have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. But I'm kind of stuck trying to work out the deal with that. So I got two sus things going on here. The camera, but I've debunked that, and the MediaTek processor, which I haven't debunked that. I'm going to say that it's an MT6739, like it said. Maybe they've just got a different batch of them, or something. It doesn't make too much sense to me. We've got 4G VLLT on this. We definitely have that. So it's got to be a 6.7 something chip. It's just a matter of which one it actually is. As I said, it likely is what it says it is. It's just a slightly different version or something. Just not happy, Jan, at the secondary camera here. I wonder if I emailed ASPERA and said, did you know that you've got a dud camera in your phones? They're probably like, nah, I didn't know. They honestly probably wouldn't know. Well, at least I've investigated it. Let's just make sure I didn't kill it before I continue on. Come on, buddy. Oh, it's still alive. I'll display all the specs to the side. Take the MediaTek processor with a grain of salt. As I said, it likely is what it is. Just why would they put glue in there? And also, ASPERA, next time don't advertise a 0.08 megapixel camera when it doesn't exist, please. I mean, even if it was 0.08, it wouldn't do anything anyways. Yeah, it still works. There's the Opera House. I've been in there once, about 7 years ago, and I walked in and went, wow, this is boring, and walked back out. Now I've got to put all the screws back in. I'm going to put my Optus SIM back into it because I haven't done the call quality test with it, so I'll need to have this still working. All up, has my experience with the ASPERA Nitro been fun? No, not really, but it was acceptable though. As I said, you folks will have to tell me in the comments below, what name would you call this? If you were a marketing director for this company, and you're like, alright, this has 1 gig of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, and a quad-core processor, what do we call it? And bloke over in the corner says, Nitro. No. So feel free to tell me what you think this should be called. Tell me also what you think about the camera situation. I know it's a cheap phone and stuff like that. I really shouldn't complain about it, but still, it's an advertised thing that's not true. It is what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? Now, you folks out there in Aussie land, like me, let me know if you've used an ASPERA phone before and what you think of them. Do you think they're a good little company? Or do you think they're just rebranding cheapo devices and just slapping their name on it and calling it a day? I don't know. Still a bit sus with the processor. As I said, you know, ASPERA's doing their own thing. Find them at your local post office today, because no one's buying them. I'm done with this one today. It's getting late. I want to go to bed because I'm old. So thanks so much for watching this one. I really do appreciate it. I don't know if this one was going to be entertaining or not, but if you're hearing me tell you this, then that means you've made it to the end of the video. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit back and watch me look at a cheapo device. If you had to use timestamps to skip along and stuff, that's no problem. That's why they're there, so you can jump to wherever you need to be, because these videos go on for way too long and most people only want to see a couple of things and that's it. But that's all good. But I honestly don't think there's anything else to say about this one, to be honest. I think I've taken a look at everything. If you want to know anything else about this device, feel free to let me know. But if you also do know about the MediaTek, feel free to let me know about that one too, because that's just not sitting right with me. But anyways, folks, that's another cheapo phone review for you all. Another brand that I haven't looked at on this channel. There's many other brands out there that I haven't looked at, that I'd like to look at, that I will look at whenever I look at. What am I even talking about? Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this one. Once again, I really do appreciate you all. I need to end this video because I'm going bonkers. I'm already bonkers as it is. But please take care, stay safe, be good people. I'll see you all in the next one, which will be more cheapo stuff, most likely. Except I have agreed to a bunch of sample stuff, which may be a mistake, but we'll see how we go. But until the next time I see you all, please take care of yourselves, keep being awesome, and I'll see you all soon. I'm doing hand gestures, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, bye! Bye.
If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.